Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick look at the demo for Pragmata on the ROG Ally. Our first test is going to start off at 1080p with all low settings, no frame generation, and no upscaling. And with these settings in the beginning area, we seem to be in the low 40s, sometimes dipping down into the high 30s, but overall not too bad considering we're not using any upscaling or frame generation. This area isn't really that demanding, like we're just in a single room here with one enemy at a time, so it's probably going to dip a little further when we get further into the game, but let's take a look at another area to see how it performs. Now that we're in this second room here, there's a little bit more details, and it seems like the performance has dropped. Like we're in the mid 30s, sometimes all the way down to early 30s. So that's probably what we're going to be expecting for these settings if we're playing the game normally. Like later on, we'll probably have more enemies on screen. I would expect it to probably hang around the low 30s. Next, we're going to adjust our settings here. We're going to turn the settings up to medium. We're going to turn on FSR to balanced, and we're not going to turn on frame generation just yet. We'll save that for a little bit later. So with FSR set to balance, let's see how this performs. And now at these settings, we seem to be in the high 30s in this first room, which is a little bit worse than what we were seeing on the previous settings. I did change things to medium and I tried turning it down, but I think it required a game reboot because it just wasn't going down to low again. But anyway, with these settings, we're mid 30s in this room. And when we get to the next area, in the second area, now we seem to be dropping down to like the low 30s, sometimes mid 30s, but we've even seen it drop down to like 25, 26 FPS. So these settings are not going to be playable as is. I think we're probably going to need to turn on frame generation if we want to use medium settings, or in general if we want to get a little bit closer to 60 FPS. And now with FSR frame generation turned on and we're sticking with the same settings, that's FSR balanced at 1080p, now we seem to be getting roughly 50 FPS. So we're not quite there at 60. Sometimes we're dipping into the mid 40s, so this isn't really the best experience for, using frame generation, so we're going to have to adjust settings a little bit further. And now changing FSR to performance from balanced, we seem to be getting, a little bit better. We're in the mid 50s, but we're not quite at 60 FPS. So we're going to change our FSR to ultra performance and see how that does. And now with these new settings, we seem to be at 60 FPS. Now it's not a perfect 60 FPS. I did notice when I was fighting that it did dip a little bit below, but it's fairly solid for the most part. So if you're wanting to get 60 FPS or pretty close to it, these settings should work pretty good. Medium settings, you could always drop it down to low for maybe a couple extra frames, but I didn't find too much of a difference. Make sure that you're using frame generation and FSR Ultra Performance. This is, of course, a demo, so the game may be further optimized when it releases, but we'll take a look at it again maybe when it comes out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.